And good morning. It's now 7:04 on this Thursday, July 8th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on a Thursday morning. And I don't know about you, but I welcome the rain that fell yesterday. Had 0.6 of an inch at my house. And I don't know what came last night if it hadn't looked at the rain gauge. But a good morning to you. And welcome to our program presented by Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. The dealer that'll trade for anything it don't eat. Paul Tubbs is here. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And Ronnie Kelly is on special assignment.
He's MIA. He's where I was last week. Baseball tournament at the beach. So we took turns.
Well, now I've heard it all. MIA, missing in action.
That's it.
Well, I'm sure you miss him in the sales department for a week,
We do.
or however long he's going to be gone. But how was your vacation?
It was well. It was really nice. The weather was perfect, and we were in the semifinals, and the monsoon hit, and we kind of got a little bad luck there because the weather hit, and I had my two best pitchers on board waiting, and we were in the semifinals fixing to pitch one of them, and I had my actual top pitcher setting for the final game. And the weather hit, and they went to runs allowed, and we got beat by one run to being able to win the tournament. So, but I think the other team's coach came up to me and said, "Man, y'all were by far the best team. I got a real good little group of local 13-year-old kids that's all good. Everybody from with the police department, Matt Dedman's son, to a lot of local kids that go to Walter J. and a couple go to Gladeville, a couple go to Watertown. So we got a good little 13U baseball team here in town. I enjoy coaching them. It's really fun.
Well, is that kind of the end of it?
No, we got a couple more tournaments, local tournaments that we wanted to make. Last year, because of COVID, we didn't really get to take a beach trip. So we wanted to take a beach trip this year, and we got a couple more local tournaments. So hopefully all goes well.
All right, guess we need to talk about selling cars and all the other things that we talk about every Thursday this time about Bates Ford. Ronnie usually puts in a plug or two for a special car or something, but you can talk about that this morning.
Well, as always, like I always say, if you got a vehicle you want to sell right now, I'm actively buying vehicles with the chip shortage and what's going on with our new inventory. We're down to like 14 new vehicles, and I know all the other manufacturers, Wilson County Motors, and everybody's kind of hurting for vehicles, but we're actively buying vehicles. We've got a lot of nice vehicles in. I've got an ST Explorer that's just a beautiful blue vehicle that we've got. Got a couple Platinum Explorers. Right now we just got in a F-150. I got the information yesterday, and I'll let everybody know when it happens. We'll share it on our Facebook and all that. Our big Bronco should be there at any time. It's an orange with a black leather interior. It's got the black top, and it'll be what they call a mannequin vehicle, where it'll sit in front of the dealership and customers can come look at it and, test drive it down the road and stuff like that. So hopefully we're excited about getting that vehicle.
A mannequin vehicle.
That's what they call the program. I had to opt us in. You got the little Bronco, the Bronco Sport. You got the Mach-E, which is the fully electric Mustang. And then you got the big Bronco, and it's called a mannequin. And what you do is each one of them vehicles is actually something that we sit in front of the dealership and let customers come test drive them. If they want to order one, then we'll be happy to order one for them.
Yeah, okay. Well, cheapest oil change in town.
Still doing it. Billy come in yesterday, had a little belt issue on his vehicle, but we're doing the oil change. And like I always say, we're still running the $24.95 oil change. And we don't just change your oil. We make sure we do a full inspection, check your brakes, batteries, and hoses. And then if you need brakes, we also do brakes for $109.95. That's pads and labor. And then, of course, Ford does a lifetime replacement where you get the pads for free. You just have to repay for the labor. And then, of course, batteries. We got the cheapest batteries, I feel like, $134.95, and we install them on most vehicles.
Well, the Billy, that's Billy Goodman here, had his oil change, but you found something that needed to be done, so he wouldn't have known that otherwise.
Right, that's correct. So we try to give you a good inspection and let you know if there's any necessaries.
And did you mention tires?
Yeah, we do tires. We'll meet or beat anybody's price on any comparable tire. And as I always say, if you buy tires from Bates Ford, we'll give you lifetime rotation.
Well, that's good to know, and then that rotation's important.
Right. When we do rotate, we get to look at all the shocks and brakes and brake lines and make sure everything's safe. If anybody's going out of town, certainly bring your vehicle in, get an oil change or whatever, and we'll give you a copy of your inspection sheet when you go to the cashier.
Well, I'll tell you what, we talked so much about your vacation and your ball playing. We didn't even mention 4th of July. Were you in town, or did you just...
I actually left Gulf Shores at 4 o'clock in the morning on 4th of July and came home, and then I had a family event. My mother and brother and sisters and nieces and nephews all came over, and we did a little swimming, had a little fun 4th of July, and shot some fireworks, so enjoyed it.
Well, that's good. So it's even a short week for you.
Well, no, I worked on the 5th. Oh. We worked. Mr. Bates, he kind of left that up to me, and I was on vacation, and they were calling me, and I said, we kind of always try to, but all of our competition was open, so we felt like we needed to be open, so we were.
All right. Well, we've said a lot this morning, but it's Bates Ford, 1673 West Main, the dealer to trade for anything you don't eat. Paul Tubbs, of course, the dealer operations manager, and Ronnie Kelly, who's usually with us, we'll say on special assignment or MIA, however you want to say it. He'll be back next week.
He will.
All right, good. And we'll see you and him then. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Coleman.
All right, Paul Tubbs, Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Once again, the dealer to trade for anything you don't eat. We're 10 after the hour, and Lieutenant P.J. Hardy joins us. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And I just heard as I came in this morning, you've had a promotion. We called you sergeant for a good while.
For a good little while, yes.
Congratulations, of course. But is this something to kind of be expected if you stay long enough, or have you done something? Something extraordinary to get a promotion, or?
Well, so a couple things. For this new budget year, we kind of looked at our command staff, and we were a little bit light on our command staff compared to the other departments. Mostly, if you look around Tennessee areas, most departments have a lieutenant and a captain that run each of the divisions, and there was a couple of divisions that we didn't have a lieutenant in. So there was a need for one, and then, of course, beyond that, I would hope that my experience and my work has proven itself worthy enough for the position, and so I had to interview. And there was good competition. I tell you that the other officers involved are great officers, and they've done a fantastic job for the department. So it was good competition.
All right, now you're still public information officer.
I am.
Among the other things.
Among other things, among other duties as assigned, as they say around our department. Yeah.
Well, I just want to make sure I got your title right, but it's lieutenant, and you're still public information officer.
Yes, sir. So
speaking of 4th of July, as you just did with Paul, how was your 4th of July?
It was fantastic. It was really laid back, and the celebration out at the fairgrounds that the city put on with the food and the games and the car shows and the fireworks, it was just fantastic. Everyone had a really great time. Fireworks show was really well done. So it was just nice to see everybody back out and out in public.
A year ago we didn't get to do any of that.
Yeah,
and so that I hope we made up for some of it.
We did, and moving forward, we expect really big things. Philip Lacey, the assistant PIO, and I were talking yesterday and kind of planning out the balance of this year, and we've got just we're bringing back all of the normal events, and we expect really big turnouts. We've got well, of course, we got the fair coming up next month, so we've got an extra day or two of that to look forward to, and then we've got Citizens Police Academy that is going to be able to happen this year, so that's awesome. That'll begin the 3rd Thursday in September, and then we'll have National Night Out the first Tuesday of October. We expect a really big turnout for that. So yeah, we've got a lot of great things coming up and to plan for, and so we're just excited and happy to be able to get back out into the community.
We've got a fundraiser for Matt Dedman.
Can we
talk about that?
Sure, absolutely. So that's this Saturday at 9 o'clock. It's a cornhole competition that the fire department and ourselves are kind of sponsoring. It's $40 per team. If you'd like to get involved, just call us at the police department. We'll get you the information. It's a great fundraiser. Of course, it's for Matt Dedman, now newly appointed Sergeant Matt Dedman. He, for those who don't know, he did suffer a brainstem stroke. It's a very highly dangerous condition, but he is recovering well. He is at home. He's got a pretty good road to recovery, but they do expect a really good recovery for him when it's all said and done. So we're doing lots of different things to kind of help him out and get help his family out. His wife has had to take time off of work to assist him as of course, as she would. And so we're just trying to do everything we can. There's been a lot of people, people in the community that have really done some amazing things for Matt and his family, and we're just thrilled to be a part of that.
Well, I'm sure somebody can't play cornhole or doesn't want to. They can still make a contribution, and I believe this is a two-person team, so that's $20 a piece.
Yes.
If you've got a team, $40 to play. But a $20 donation or $40 or $50 donation would be nice too.
Absolutely, and we've got hot dogs and hamburgers that we're going to be selling that day. We've got a couple giveaway things, and we'll also have a way to take donations. But anybody, even if you don't play, stop by. It's a lot of fun. It's a great little tournament, and we'll have a lot of folks. And of course, there's always that police versus fire competition that can get kind of colorful at times. So come on out; it'll be a great time.
And this is going to be over at the fire department's administration building.
Correct. That's
next to the Senior Citizen Center on Coles Ferry.
Yeah, it's kind of sandwiched in between the Senior Citizen Center and Jimmy Floyd Center over there, and so they've got a big open field behind the facility, so that's where the boards will be set up, and it'll just be a lot of great fun.
Okay, outdoors, not indoors.
Correct. It'll be outdoors this Saturday. So.
Okay, Lieutenant P.J. Hardy's here. We'll take a break and talk more in a moment on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:17. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota. Exmark, large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. #1 selling brand. Bought 2-to-1 over any other commercial mower brand. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic. Here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase even more now. Down I-42 bound Julian. All this traffic coming in from Wilson County this time of the morning. It's a crash over here on Briley Parkway eastbound at Gallatin Pike. A dump truck flipped over to try to take that curve too quickly. Again, that's on Briley Parkway. They got it blocked off on that ramp there at Gallatin Pike. Princess Hot Chicken is now open inside the Assembly Food Hall near the National Museum of African American Music on Broadway. Check it out at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. And again, welcome Lieutenant P.J. Hardy this morning. We've got a promotion, but it's still Public Information Officer for the Lebanon Police Department. And it is summertime. The seasons of the year, I guess some of the things that are on your plate change with the seasons of the year, especially in the summertime with school being out for 8 weeks here, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Although we had some summer school in June there, so it's for some. It's a very short summer, but right now in the middle of July, almost the middle of July, it is the good old summertime, and it's a little bit different for you not having the school traffic.
Yeah, it's so that is a little bit different. We do have a lot of travelers, obviously, this time of year. So traveling the corridors of 109 and I-40 has become a bit busier. Plus, there's construction that's continuing and hopefully wrapping up, at least on the I-40 part. The 109, I don't know if they'll ever finish that thing. That's been seems a forever project going on. But yeah, so a lot more traffic and a lot more traffic patterns and movement. And that's one thing we do want to mention on I-40 as they're wrapping up that project. It'll still be several months, but as they're working on that, please be mindful of the different traffic pattern changes, because they have to change the lane patterns and stuff every once in a while to accommodate their work. So just be mindful of that. There are some, I know, like at the 840, there's one lane that's opened up, and it looks like it's wider, and you got more lanes to travel. But the far right lane is an exit only for the 840. Lots of people don't realize that until the last minute, and then they have to try to dart back over in the left lane. And so we haven't had any notable change or difference in crashes so far this summer, knock on wood. So, just be safe, leave early, and get there safely.
Well, I have noticed some paving that seems to be going on what will be the outside lanes, really the new addition there. And I suppose when they get that pretty much done, then traffic will move to the outside while the inside is prepped.
Correct, the inside and the walls, and I'm not quite sure. Well, it in the different sections, there's going to be different types of medians. Some might have barriers, some might have the wire, some might be open. So, yeah, as they get the outers done, then they'll move on to the inner. And like I said, in several months here, hopefully that'll be complete, and that'll be it'll be great. Fridays, if you ever travel it on Fridays, it's just every day going into Nashville. Obviously, there's issues, and really through our section, there's really us and Mount Juliet, there's not that much as far as issues are concerned. But if it does back up from Nashville, then we're affected. And then Friday afternoon from 3 o'clock, if you're going east towards Cookeville, you can hang it up.
It just seems to me it has been this way for years in Lebanon. On Friday afternoon, everybody and his brothers out in the car.
Oh, West Main on a Friday? Goodness gracious. That's the one thing I don't miss about my patrol days is just getting around town on a Friday afternoon for that 3 or 4 hour pocket. It gets really busy.
Well, I was thinking of interstate here too. Now we understand that in not too distant future, when they get this section completed up to Hartman Drive, then up to Sparta Pike is another project that widening is going to take place.
Yeah, they're going to do that project. One, because it was already kind of in the plans and in the books, but two, especially now with the potential of having the state fair here, we need to be able to hopefully address some of those traffic issues. And there will be work done on Sparta Pike and some of the other offshoots to hopefully accommodate better traffic patterns.
Are you and others, the Lebanon Police Department, ever party to discussions about how to improve traffic flow into and out of the Ward Ag Center?
So we are kind of indirectly through our city. The city has folks that work in that specific field, looking at the roadways, the road conditions, improvements, and that sort of thing. And they do reach out to us to say, hey, what do you think about this? And we discuss everything from the curbage to the speed. What speed we recommend through an area, what alternates that are available, and they take that information and then they share it with the state. The state doesn't communicate with us directly, but the folks that do communicate with the state do get our thoughts and opinions on things. And with as of right now, we're doing the same thing with the fair as we've always done. We'll be working the outer perimeter, so that includes the traffic and all that. So that's not going to change. Maybe down the road, as improvements are made and this and that, we don't know. Who knows? The state highway patrol might have more of an impact on that traffic control and that sort of thing. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. But meanwhile, we'll do what we always do.
Well, let me ask this: since you are in your new police headquarters and have been there for almost a year,
it'll be a year at the end of this month.
Any difference with the fair or any big convention or assembly at the Ward Ag Center?
It doesn't, as far as traffic is concerned, but it makes a huge impact for us because we're right there. Because we'll be able to, we've always had, as I say, eyes in the sky, because we've had camera systems throughout the fairgrounds for years, and but with us being right there and us having our resources close by, it's just a lot easier than we were only 4 or 5 blocks away previously. But still, logistically, it just makes it more advantageous for us to be where we're at. We do need to remind folks that we are a 24-hour operation police department, so we can't be used as a fair parking facility. So, but we'll have folks out there to help folks understand that and guide them in the right direction. But we still will do the bus drop-offs. You know, we're still the location for that, and so, but it'll just be a lot nicer to be right there.
Well, in the meantime, life goes on, and I was just thinking here, I haven't paid much attention, if I've heard it, to anything, any drug problems or drug busts or this kind of thing. I guess the problem is an ongoing one and is there, and you're working on it. But any news in that regard?
It's always in the background. Well, you know, we continue to have our cases of overdoses. We're still in a red zone when that, as far as that is concerned. We're working several cases where we are identifying the known person that supplied a deadly or a lethal dose of tainted drugs to someone. Tainted not in the sense that they intentionally was trying to poison them or whatnot, but tainted in the sense that it's got fentanyl in it, and there's no, you know, they supplied this drug that ended up killing someone. And so that's where most of the overdose issues are coming from. It's not people just, back in the 70s when you heard someone overdose, it's because they just took too much. They took more than their body could handle. The majority of the cases of overdoses in today's time is about the fentanyl or carfentanil that is a part of the drugs that they're taking, but they're obviously, these are drug dealers. There's no control. There's no method of measure and that sort of thing. And so a very, very little amount of fentanyl can kill a person. And so that's where the problem lies. And as I said before, and I sound like a broken record, but it really is like playing roulette in today's world, because everything that's illicit as far as drugs are concerned can be tainted with fentanyl.
Does any of the problem pertain to education or understanding of the danger here?
Well, that's the biggest key as far as we're concerned, is getting that message out. You know, Drug Free Wilco is doing a fantastic job of getting that information out to our younger folks, because that's, you know, as in most societies, when the kids are younger, they start to experiment with things, and it's a very, very dangerous time right now to be experimenting, because it could literally be a one and done proposition. The one time that you tried the one drug that you knew that you shouldn't could be the you know, could be your fate, because of the stuff that's in the drugs today. So it's hugely important for us to get that message out to kids so they understand that. And then as far as educating the abusers, you know, that's a harder road, because if you are truly addicted to drugs, you're unfortunately the MO is that you're always chasing that next high or that better high, and they know that with these additives they can get that. They don't think about the potential dangers. You know, they just think, well, you know, it should be okay. They know what they're doing, and when they really don't. And so the fentanyl content is just deadly.
And as far as the drug dealers, I guess this is their livelihood, quote unquote, the way they make a living.
Yep. And,
unfortunately for all of us.
And so there's a price to pay for that. You know, there's always has been, but now they can absolutely, and have been, and we will continue to prosecute those individuals that provide these, like I said, deadly or lethal dosage. We will charge them with murder, and we've been successful in several cases, and we've got several cases that are pending, and we'll continue to do so until we can get the message out there, because it's just we can't have this. I mean, drug addiction is a bad enough problem as it is, but when you throw this level of danger into it, we just can't have it. So we're going to try everything we can to keep it at bay.
Is it getting worse? Are we kind of on a level plateau?
We're on a plateau, but that plateau is pretty high, unfortunately. Yeah. You know, it's not a low plateau. We've had so many. The numbers have risen, rose so much, and we've plateaued, but we're still at that high level. Mm-hmm. So we're still seeing several cases every every day, every week, every month of overdose calls.
But even though it's not in the news every day, maybe you're still there. It's still
We're
a
still
problem.
there. Still a
Okay.
problem. Yeah, we're still working on it, and I think we'll make some headway. And also, I'm not making a political statement, but this whole last year where people didn't have a whole lot to do and go and whatever. I think that had a little bit to do with the uptick. So now that hopefully everything is opening back up and people have the ability to get back to work, get out in public, and get out and do other things, hopefully that won't be. Hopefully that'll help.
Well, that's at least a happier note.
Yes.
Yeah.
To end on a
And
Thursday
our
morning.
time is up. And,
Yes.
Anything we left out quickly here?
No, just keep following our Facebook page. Chief is doing a great job of lining a bunch of things up for us for the rest of this year. So continue to follow us there for all the latest information about what's going on.
All right. We'll look forward to your August visit a month from now. So thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Coleman.
All right, Lieutenant P.J. Hardy, Lebanon Police Department. And that is part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford, and they've got the lifetime brake pad guarantee with the purchase of a brake service. Replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic. Here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're still working with this truck crash. It's actually a dump truck crash here on Briley Parkway entrance ramp to Gallatin Pike. It's been closed on this ramp for quite some time going eastbound on Briley Parkway again. On that ramp, as you get on to Gallatin Pike, a lot of folks usually head over to that Home Depot right there this time of the morning. Traffic's on the increase through Kingston Springs on I-40 eastbound. All that traffic flow coming out of Dixon County. Ripley's Aquarium, PJ Party with the Penguins coming up July 30th and 31st. All the details now at Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies.com. I'm Commander Chuck, you're on time traffic.
It's your first day in business, a new space, real investors, and butterflies the size of dinner plates. For peace of mind, protect your dream and call THW Insurance. Local folks representing quality companies like Westfield Insurance. Whether your business is large or small, contact Lori Carter of THW at 615-547-5632 or stop in and see her at the Wilson Bank and Trust West Main office.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So, what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
West Tree Service, locally owned and operated in Lebanon, Tennessee. With over 25 years experience, our primary goal is to provide high-quality professional service with attention to detail. At West Tree Service, we use better equipment to be more efficient, which equals reasonable prices for our customers. We offer free estimates with no obligation. We are licensed and fully insured. West Tree Service, honest service, says professional, courteous, and on time. For more information, visit westtreecare.com or call 615-456-2011.
Today's forecast calls for showers and storms, otherwise skies will be mostly cloudy. Temperatures today will top out in the mid-80s. On Friday, scattered rain showers continue with highs climbing into the upper 80s. This weekend, rain showers are in the forecast once again. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
Well, we welcome you to part two of Coleman and Company, and we welcome Heather Sadler Gallagher this morning to talk about the Pavilion Senior Living here in Lebanon. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You doing okay?
I am doing just fantastic.
Well, was your weekend good? I know it's Thursday now, but we can still talk about last weekend a minute.
Well, it was a good weekend. We took the girls to swimming, and then we also set up we have a food truck, my husband does, and so we set up the food truck downtown Nashville for the big 4th of July, and so
oh wow,
busy weekend for us. Yeah.
Well, while everybody else is spending money, you're making money, huh?
Well, that was the point.
That's the idea.
That's probably the only reason I would get down there with 300,000 other people. Sure.
All right. Heather Sadler Gallagher is the marketing director and interim administrator for the Pavilion Senior Living here in Lebanon at 1409 Medical Center Drive, and is with us each Thursday at this time. What news do you have for us today, or do you have any?
Well, it's kind of the same old. We're still full, but we added two residents to our wait list this week. So that's, we've kind of got a campaign going that we'll add you to our wait list for $250 and I'll hold you a spot. So, we're working through the wait list, and as I have a room open, then I go from the top to the bottom for whoever's ready. So, good problem for us, not so good if you need us immediately.
No, that's true. But as we've said a number of times here, with your experience, which you don't get overnight, you've done this for a while, and with your experience, even though you may be full, you can help people find what they need, even if it's down the street. And I think that's a good thing.
My main thing I say is I play in a sandbox well with others, because.
We all have a way with words, don't we?
Well, here's the thing is we're kind of all in this together, and, I'm in the service industry, and I'm in the service industry of people's lives. And so I want to make sure that, if somebody needs something right then, I want to direct them into whatever resource they need, whether that be assisted living or rehab or independent living. I've got some resources everywhere because I'm really friendly and I like to talk to people and I like to make friends. So I'm really good at that. So I tell everybody, I know a lot of people because I talk a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, the pavilion is really a nice place. It's a community. You don't like me to use the word facility, and I understand that because community sounds better. And but I guess just about everybody knows everybody. You know the helpers, the caregivers, everybody there pretty much knows everybody else, and kind of hopefully get along well and know what to expect.
Well, it's a big family. It really is, and I tell everybody, I said, I get the joy to know people at a different point in their life than maybe a lot of other people do, and I enjoy that. But in the same sense, they become family because you're with them all the time, and you're there for needs that they probably never had in their lives that they need help with. They didn't know that they, 30 years ago, they didn't need help putting on their clothes, but right now they do, and that's a kind of an honor place for us to be.
Yeah,
and that's how I look at it for sure.
Well, one of the good things that's happened lately is the lessening of restrictions regarding COVID and all this. I know you're still being careful and you're to some extent practicing social distancing, but the regulations have relaxed a lot, and I think that's made for a better situation, hasn't it?
Absolutely. We still require if you walk into the building that you wear a mask, but you can go to the room and visit and take your mask off. We do make sure that you screen in, so we know we take temperatures, and then we also have a record of who's in the building. So if something were to come up, we know who to contact. We do all that through a system called IQ Shield, and it automatically takes your temperature, and you log in, and then. But it's been really nice. Last night I actually got to bring in Sophie and Savvy, and they helped serve dinner last night and put them to work a little bit. Which the residents absolutely love seeing children, and so we got to do that, and we couldn't do that a couple months ago.
Right. Well, just remind everybody, 1409 Medical Center Drive, just north of Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Instead of going to the emergency room, go one block further. You'll find it down there on the right. Heather's available at 615-444-5556. The website, www.thepavilionseniorliving.com. Will that about do it this morning?
I think you got it.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us. We'll talk to you next week.
Have a good week.
All right, you too. Okay, Heather Sadler Gallagher, Marketing Director, Interim Administrator for the Pavilion, and we are 21 minutes before the hour. And I want to welcome Tim Leeper. Tim Leeper Roofing, he is here. Good morning.
Morning.
And how are you, Tim?
I'm as good as I can be.
Well, we're going to be talking about roofing, of course, this morning. That's what you're here for. But it's not the only thing. You have impressed me as a good businessman, but somebody who has somewhat of a sense of humor and somebody who wants to get at it, get the job done. I don't think you waste a lot of time.
I try not to. I used to work for a guy, and when I first started in business, and he was in construction, and we would work on these projects, and we would go out there and be there for months at a time, and it would drive me crazy because I would feel like from day to day we couldn't see anything happening. And then one day we were working on a roof. First time I'd ever been on a roof in my life. We was working on a roof just right out of high school, and I actually could see something get done. We put a roof on it about a day and a half, and just he and I, and it was a recover, but I said, I think I like this. We actually got something accomplished today, and so that was the first day of my life, and I really look back and reflect and realize that I was a fairly results-oriented person.
Yeah. Well, for those who may not have heard much of your story in the past, you've been here a few times before. How did you get to be Tim Leeper Roofing? You started out working for somebody else, I think, but is that right?
I did. I started out working for a roofing and sheet metal union contractor in Nashville. Went through a sheet metal apprenticeship program for fabrication and install on roofing projects, both commercial and residential. Worked for some residential companies in Nashville, and realized after a while that I felt like I could treat customers better than what I was seeing. I had a sense in some cases that the people that I was working with and for at the time were treating their customers like ATM machines, and I didn't like that. That didn't sit well with me. I always felt like that when you do business with somebody, you should look out for their interests and take care of them, because no matter what you do, you'll be successful if you take care of people. And, the money will come and the money will go, but, at least you sleep good at night. And I didn't have a good feeling about that, so I just started my own company in 2004.
So, 17 years?
Yeah, about that. And I'll tell you this, there are some days that I think about it, and I get working and sweating, and I think, what day of my life did I wake up and say I want to be a roofer? But one day I did, and but I wouldn't take anything for it. Being self-employed is great, but some days are better than others.
You have told us before, but let me ask you, what area of roofing? There's a lot of different roofs that can be put on. I mean, there's great big buildings, there's residential. What do you mostly do and prefer?
Well, we do residential and commercial. We're probably about a 65% residential, 35% commercial. And, we see that changing. We see that, more commercial coming down the pipe. We're getting ready we actually have started a project, the roof for Jay Claiborne's here in town. This week we're doing some things for Coleman University. We've been working for Coleman for a lot of years. But I prefer personally to be on flat roofs, because the older I get, the less strong my ankles are, and I like walking on the flat roofs when I have to get on roofs.
Well, now, do you get on the roofs much yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I tell people all the time, I say, you can hire some of these big companies, but do you think the owner of their companies are getting up on these roofs and looking at them like I am? And I'm on roofs every day. just about every day. Now, yesterday was the exception. I had 3 meetings at the office, which I would rather eat my fingernails than sit through a meeting.
That probably tells us a little bit about you right there.
Yeah, if you go look in my office, which is my truck, you'll see that I don't have much company in there. And so I'm not used to if somebody comes in and sits in my truck and we got to go somewhere, I typically have to clean it out first.
Now, do you need a good secretary or administrative assistant?
You got somebody in mind?
No.
Yeah, well, we've got a good team of people. We've got a really good group. We've got a lady that I actually used to go to church with. That's working with us. She's our office manager, and she does a great job. Ashley Phillips is her name, and she lives here in town. But we've got a good group. I've got 2 or 3 people in the office that either answer phones and handle things. But we got a team of about 30 people or so, give or take, 25 to 30.
Well, you are from time to time climbing on roofs to make sure the job's done right. You're not seen too often, I take it, with a hammer and nails or whatever, a machine.
Sometimes, yeah. I had a nail gun when I was working on something the other day, and I still, fabricate metal. Our trucks have brakes, and so, sometimes if I'm showing guys, something I want done or how I want it done, I'll jump up on the roof and help. Not every day, but I do enjoy that. I would much rather be on the roof or working around a project or talking to people in the field than I have to go into the office.
Well, how do most people contact you?
Through our, believe it or not, we get as many calls or as many looks on the website, which is what I hope for people to do because I want them to see our website. We've actually just gone through the process of a redesign, and we're still tweaking a few things. But, I just have them go to timleaperroofing.com, and there's a contact form on there. They fill it out, and we also take, phone calls through the office, but you'd be surprised how many people find you on, we just live in a mobile society. And so if people see it going down the road, they'll get to a stoplight or they won't. They'll do it going down the road, but they'll look it up, on the internet, and they'll at least see what they want to see about our company and research you.
TimLeaperRoofing.com.
Yes, sir.
All right. With that, we got to take a break. Tim is here. More coming up on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Hey, this is Paul from Bates Ford, and we got some great things going on. We got the Works vehicle package for $49.95. Also, we'll meet or beat anybody's price on tires. And on the sales ends, if you got anything that you want to turn into cash, whether it's a vehicle, boat, camper, motorcycle, anything you want to turn into cash, bring it to Bates Ford and we'll buy it. If you got a vehicle you want to get rid of, certainly bring it to Bates Ford for a cash offer. That's Bates Ford, 1673 West Main, the dealer that'll trade for anything that don't eat.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Tim Leeper is with us today. We're talking about Tim Leeper Roofing, of course. How many people do you employ approximately?
Oh gosh, we fluctuate from 25 to 30 at any given time.
Okay, well that's a pretty good number of people.
Sure.
You're kind of responsible for that many people's livelihood.
When you say it like that, it takes a different meaning. But I've got a great COO who takes care of things. I've got a great team. Yesterday's meetings were, just meeting with our team. I have a residential meeting, commercial meeting, and a leadership team meeting. And the leadership team meeting is once a month, but that was yesterday, so it's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
And we've got good folks. I really, if I needed to go somewhere for a couple months, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I could call in and check in, every other week or so and be fine.
Well, are you hiring? You needing any more?
Right now, the crazy thing is with material being as scarce as it is, we're having issues finding materials on the commercial side. Now, residential is difficult to get some colors. Some colors are 6 months out, if you wanted a green or a specialty color. But with the trouble that we're having getting materials, we're actually holding right now on our hiring because there's not a whole lot for the guys to do commercially. So that may change in the fourth quarter. It may change in the first quarter, but we need some folks to step up and get some things done and start getting some materials to our contractors.
What did you do when we had the greatest restrictions with COVID and all that? Did you stay pretty busy during the month? The year and a quarter or so, March till May or June of this year?
We were eat up. You think about it, we had the tornado last year. Yeah. Then we had, a couple months later, we had those straight line winds, Derico winds, I think they called them. And then we had COVID. We had 3 major events. Yep. And you would think, well, COVID's going to slow everybody down, but quite the opposite. COVID, what it did is it kept mama home or dad home, and they're taking a look at all these issues that are going on the house, and they're looking at the roof and saying, well, if we're going to do it, now's the time to do it. And we had a pretty good bump last year. Last year was a record year for us. Oh, and even if you took out the storms that we had last year, I felt like it would have been a pretty good year either way, even with COVID, because we never missed a lick. We kept going from the time that COVID hit and people began mask mandates and shutdowns. You know, we had to go, because if somebody had roof leaks or issues, or businesses couldn't operate, you know, because they had, you know, terrible issues over their computer, you know, we still had to go find those and fix them.
Well, you cover Wilson County. What about get into all surrounding counties, especially Davidson?
We do. We try to keep about a 100-mile radius around Nashville. So I mean, we go to Dixon, we go to Portland, we go to, you know, we'll get up into Kentucky and Alabama if we know folks up there. We were up there this week. You know, as long as we know somebody there and there's a reason to go, we'll go out. We'll go as far as Chattanooga and Knoxville, and but you know, we try to stay in the 100-mile radius unless we have a relationship.
Mm-hmm. One of the things, Tim, we might talk about this for a minute. I don't know how it's affected you, but and I don't know how much lumber that you're involved with, but we hear how the price of lumber has just skyrocketed. And I mean, we know what the price of gasoline is. I guess it's at least 50% higher than it was this time a year ago. How's that affected you?
Well, it's like anything else, you know, it's affected us, and we have to pass that on to the consumer.
Sure.
You know, when these things happen, I don't pretend to understand economics all that well, but you know, I can do math. And you know, when plywood was costing $9.49 at this time last year for a sheet before tax, and this year it's costing $54 before tax a sheet.
$9 to $54.
$9.49 is what a sheet of 7/16 OSB was going for this time last year. So, you know, those things, they make their way to the consumer, and they pay higher prices. We had one project that was a commercial project this year. We bid it in October of last year. Customer called back in March, and from October to March, that price had gone up in material $60,000. That doesn't include any profit or overhead that goes on that. $60,000 in material increases.
Unreal. Well, you have to cope with the times, but it's discouraging in a way.
We would like to see some help. You know, I said just a minute ago, you know, we need some folks to get up and get serious about, you know, getting us some of these materials. There's a lot that the construction trade, I don't know what it is, what percentage of the economy is construction, but I would imagine it's considerable. And the prices of everything has gone up because we just can't get it. Consumers are paying that in higher prices. You know, at some point, there's going to be a reckoning for that. With all these folks being shut down and not able to run, you know, in some of these fields, it's at some point it's going to catch up, and we're going to pay the price for it.
Well, I mean, I'm not an economist. I don't think you are either, but we do know that some of the states, maybe as many as 20 states, have gone against this thing from Washington with the, I guess it's an unemployment, whatever people being paid not to work, they've come down against that, and we have here in Tennessee. Is that going to make any difference?
To me, probably not, but for our restaurants, for our entertainment industry, for, you know, for a lot of our fast food folks over at the Help Center, you know, that I'm part of the board, we're having a really hard time finding and keeping receivers. And so we're in the process of modifying our pay structure to be more competitive, and that will help to an extent. I don't know how much it's going to help, but the good news is when they have done away with these benefits, whether you agree with that or don't agree with it, when they've done away with them, they at least have eliminated all these folks who are calling into the restaurants and saying, hey, I'll be back when unemployment ends. If somebody told me they'd be back when unemployment ends or the extra money ends, I'd find somebody else to do their job.
Yeah, I think there are a number of people that kind of feel that way. In the Bible, Paul said, man won't work, neither shall he eat. And that's kind of the way I feel about this. That, of course, that means somebody's able to work, not somebody that's on hard times or not able physically to work. But able-bodied person, they can work, they ought to. The rest of us ought not be keeping them up.
No, and it's a double-edged sword. I understand for those that can't get out and do, or their industry's been affected, or they legitimately can't go back to work because they're shut down. There's situations where that's important, but by and large, I've heard from many people that are business owners that have told me that they have had those actual conversations. I don't know why somebody would tell their employer that, but they have. And when they tell them that, they have to believe them that that's the reason they're not coming back to work. So either way, I'm glad to see that we've at least eliminated that option and, for folks to stay out just a little bit longer. But who knows what's going to happen. The biggest thing that we're facing in the roofing industry is just the shortage of materials. And at some point, we got to have those materials to do work.
Well, do you think you might see light at the end of the tunnel? And one of the things that kind of concerns me is how the price keeps going up there. I mean, you've got to pass that on to the person you're doing a roof for. I mean, we all understand that, but at some point, it's going to be unaffordable, isn't it?
Well, at some point they'll get the lumber yards will get full with stock again. At some point they'll start running, more steel. They'll, as people, are able to relax these restrictions and get back to work. And for whatever way we get folks back to work and back into these industries, we've got to have blowing agent for our insulation board to get that. There's a shortage of PVC, the resins for some of this stuff. As these products begin to be produced again, we'll have stockpiles again one day. The point is, we've got to get them back working. We've got to build those stockpiles up so that the supply and demand issue is not such an issue. I had one guy the other day, he had to redeck his house, and the cost for his roof was around $13,000. The cost to redeck his house was around $12,000. Oh. That's for labor and materials. Now, when the cost of decking your house is almost the same price is putting on a new shingle, that's a problem. And I told him, I said, if I were you, I said, I would try to wait it out. I'd try to do some get-by work, repair it. And then within 6 months, 9 months, you should see this price, come back down to some degree. And even if that price went from $12,000 to $6,000, you save $6,000 by not rushing and just, have some people get house fever. They got to have a house right now. Well, he didn't know to get roof fever and have a roof right now. Put a roof on when it makes sense for him.
Roof fever.
Roof fever. Never know what you're going to hear, do you?
No, I'm still I still like this saying I heard from you 2 or 3 months ago. All hat and no cattle.
I think we all know people like that. They tell a big tale about, what they have and what they've got and how their life is until you really get to know them and realize it. Man, you talk a big game.
We've got about 2.5 minutes left this morning. Anything else on your mind? Anything you were thinking about you might talk about we hadn't discussed yet?
Not really. We're in the roofing business, and we try to build good relationships with people. We try to build trust with folks so that when they get to the point, not everybody needs a roof every day.
Yeah.
And even if it's a non-storm time, if you're having a roof issue, if you're concerned with a roof issue, if it's a water leak, no matter where it is, we can come out there and help you get it assessed. I want you to be thinking of us if there's something that comes up, if it's a flat roof, if it's a shingle roof, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's new construction, if it's a project you're getting ready to do, I just want people to think of us, because when we put a roof on, even if it's new construction, we try to think through ice dams, before the siding goes on, before the bricks go on. So we want to plan and prepare for whatever your project is, and if you already got a bid on something, we can do, we can go as far as be just a second set of eyes, or a second opinion, if you will, to make sure that you're getting a good deal, you got a good scope of work. We just want you to have a good experience when you put your roof on, even if it's not with us. We're glad to look at another proposal and see if there's something that can be improved.
You have, I suppose you have a lot of good references, people you can, if somebody's questioning or wondering about you, your work, or your reputation.
Absolutely. We, for about 5 years, we were certified. We were endorsed by Dave Ramsey, and when he moved stations, it was just tough to, for the audience to follow him, and so we weren't able to continue that relationship. But Dave's a solid guy, and we have, several hundred Google reviews. I think we're about a 4.9 out of 5 stars. We work hard at it. Yeah, so there's lots of places to find us on the Better Business Bureau. Or just call the office. We can give you some references.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us this morning. And if you want to know more, timleeperroofing.com. All the information, the phone number to reach you, all of that is there. So that's the way we do things anymore. Get on the website, timleeperroofing.com, and you'll probably find a way to get answers to all your questions. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We will see you next time. And that is it for Thursday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Friday edition of Coleman & Company. Till then, I wish you a tremendous day.